Check, check, check.
We're back.
Okay.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. I got baby Coraline.
Look at a dog. What a dog. Baby Coraline? He doesn't
I don't know,
stand
she's
up.
crawling.
I guess we just set him there.
Maybe you could put this behind him and set him up.
There we go. Okay, we're back. All right.
Welcome back to the Cellar Podcast with your host, Sammy.
And Gia.
And we are back. Today we're hosted by Outdated Threads down here in Center Market, Wheeling, West Virginia. Earlier today we did a little try-on haul, tested out some outfits.
I felt like I was playing dress up. It was so much fun, Sammy.
It was so much fun. They have a lot of good stuff here. I've actually, the last time I was here was with Brian and Jarrett, another one of the Pine Room boys, and I had my eye on this teddy bear sweater, and I really, really wanted it, but I was like, let me just browse. Nobody else was in the store. And then all of a sudden, one singular other girl comes in the store, grabs the crew neck, and I was like, oh, Brian, Jarrett, that's the crew
Heartbroken.
That's the crew neck. Yeah, and but she ended up, I stalked her the whole time. She ended up putting it back, and I left with that crew neck. So.
It was meant to be.
So what you been up to this week?
I've been trying lash clusters, Sam.
Yeah.
It's going well, to just say the least. It's going okay.
They always look really good, and they last at least a day or two, it looks like.
Yeah, if
3
you
days.
actually, I just get so frustrated, and I just, pick them off, because I would like to be able to rub my eyes. I like to be able to, scrub them when I wash my face and stuff, and it's just, I don't know. They just get in the way sometimes. But I think they are really cute.
Nice.
I just went to the bins yesterday.
Nice.
Speaking of Outdated Threads, I got some really cool stuff. This is one of my new shirts. It says, "On the weekend, I'm a hooker," and it has a fish on it.
Part-time work.
And I've been watching Orange is the New Black, and those are my biggest things I wanted to just fill you in on.
What season are you on?
Season 3 right now. I'm
Okay.
technically rewatching it, but I don't remember half the stuff that's going on, so maybe I never finished it.
How many seasons are there?
I have no idea. I'm just here for the ride.
Okay.
What have you been up to?
I already watched it, but yeah. Well, I'm excited for, as far as TV shows, I'm gonna watch House of the Dragon soon. But I'm waiting for Brian to get back so we can watch the first episode together.
I tried to sit down and watch Game of Thrones, and it took too long for me.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll try again, because everybody's cracked out about it. It's in their veins at this point.
Yeah. I honestly, and I hate to be the person to say this, because it's like when somebody's reading a book series, they're like, oh, trust me, once you get to the 4th book, it's good, which is so annoying. But I want to say it took me 4 or 5 episodes of the first season to be into Game of Thrones. And I don't know if I'd watch House of the Dragon without Game of Thrones or not. You don't have to, but I just think I don't know. So far, I like Game of Thrones better, but it's not a fair comparison. But other than that, I also saw Inside Out 2, which we could talk more about it once you watch it, because it was so good.
I know it's so good. I know it's going to be so good, and I have to go see it ASAP.
Yeah. We'll talk about it next episode if you do see it. Something I thought was funny, too, is last podcast we talked about Miss Caitlin Clark. And what podcast did we all see talk about her right afterwards?
I think the Pine Room just wants to be us.
They do.
I mean,
they do. We came to them, but they're just copying us.
Whatever, guys. Just.
And the only other thing that I wanted to kind of get Gia's live reaction to on the podcast was, so this week I had a little appointment. OBGYN appointment, as us girls do. And it was a rushed appointment because we just moved back to this area. So I don't have a primary care. I don't have any doctors or anything. And I had a concern, so I needed to go sooner. So it was my first time ever scheduling with a male doctor.
Okay.
And now I went to PA school, so like I know there's wonderful male providers out there, but this was just not that experience. So he's like doing this exam, and
is it just him, or does he have like an assistant in the room?
He does have somebody else in the room. So if you're a male provider and you're going to do any sort of like, well, even if you're a female and female provider, you do have to confirm or deny like whether or not they want to have I can't think of the word, but a secondary person in there. Mm-hmm. But most of the time men just assume like, if I'm seeing a girl, I probably should just have another female in the room with me. But so she was. Now this man starts his exam, and he referred to my chest as the girls.
Okay.
And the troublemakers.
In an appointment. In an appointment.
Yeah, and that's not even the worst part.
What's the worst part?
When he's doing a further exam, he called my cervix teeny tiny, and then he said, "Oh, I think it just winked at me."
I'm dead. No, he did not say he just winked at him.
He did.
What was your reaction?
Because I didn't say anything.
I'd be like, this isn't real.
This is
no way. This is a real appointment right now.
I was silent. And I was tearful in
Not
the car.
Not even a jaw dropped?
I didn't even know what to do, because he's there.
He thought he was hilarious saying that.
I know. And he's like 50 years old. And I was like, this is so weird. I don't know what age it would have been worse to do it, though. Like if he was like a younger doctor.
Oh my goodness.
So that was my experience. I know there's good male providers out there, but I'll probably never see one ever again in my life. Not even when I'm like 82.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I would just have to immediately call my mom, be like, you won't believe this.
Immediately I got in the car and I called Brian, and I was like, I don't even know what to say.
Brian was probably just as flabbergasted.
Yeah. He said, "Is that possible that it can?" I was like, "No, Brian."
He said, "Is that possible?"
I said, "The cervix doesn't move." I mean, until you're like pregnant and giving birth. Yeah.
He's funny. He said, "Is that possible?"
So yeah, so that was my week.
Wow.
And on that note,
welcome to episode 3 of the Cellar Podcast. This episode, fashion killaz.
Fashion killaz.
Being the environment that we're in right now, Sami and I wanted to discuss all things fashion and trends. So we didn't sit down beforehand and like correlate our questions. I just gave her the name. I was just giggling, giving her the name. And I was like, it's either going to be with an S or a Z at the end.
I wrote down in my notes with a Z.
And then that's it. That's all we had to go off of. So we'll see where this conversation takes us to. But I'll start it off with, what is your favorite decade for fashion?
Oh, okay. I didn't know how specific we were getting with questions.
That's okay.
My favorite decade,
it's
probably like 90s. Like
90s?
Grungy 90s, big baggy pants. I'm always going back to the 90s.
Right. I love the 90s.
What is yours?
I looked through them starting in the 20s because I wanted to educate myself a little bit. Mm-hmm. I like to try and style myself after the 90s.
Yeah.
But I would say my favorite to look at would probably be maybe the 60s.
So 60s would be like...
60s were when color and like bold cuts kind of came into play.
Okay.
And there was one outfit I saw from the 60s that walked on the runway. It was a chain dress, so they linked it together. Mm-hmm. And the model walked on the runway with it just kind of like hanging off of her. Mm-hmm. And I really liked the look of that.
Cool. So who would you say, like when I say fashion icon, who are like big 3, big 5 that come to mind, or they're like moments in childhood that like you were watching a movie or TV show and you're like, that girl gets it.
She eats.
Yeah.
Wow, this is tough. So when I was a kid, I thought Demi Lovato was eating.
Oh, absolutely.
I thought Lindsay Lohan was eating.
Absolutely.
That's me as a little kid, though.
Yeah.
The layers I thought was just eating them up.
Yeah. We all had a lace cami that we put underneath another shirt that we put underneath another shirt.
I promise.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Today, I would consider a fashion icon like, I think Steve Lacy eats. I think, you know who that is? Steve Lacy?
I'm really bad with names.
That's okay.
What's something he's like, what is
he's
he?
not necessarily like a model or anything.
Okay.
I would consider him like a singer. He's an artist. And he just throws that shit on. I'll show you his Instagram after this.
Okay.
I think he eats. I think Billie Eilish puts shit on daily. As for like runway looks, I don't really know. I hate that I'm not that into like runway, like fashion shows, like spring and fall, whatever. But if I could get into one thing, I think it would be those. I think those are so cool to watch.
Yeah. Did you ever, growing up, watch the Victoria's Secret fashion show?
No.
Neither did I.
Yeah.
Did you hear it's coming back?
The fashion show?
Yeah.
No,
it's coming back this year.
I liked that they had it behind the cash registers at Victoria's Secret, though. The runway walk
they
thing.
do. They do. Yeah. But it's coming back, so maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll watch
Get into it. Have a watch party or something.
Yeah. But some people that I think of, like, with fashion icons, the big one is I watched Sex and the City growing up with my mom, so I always think of, I don't even know the actress's name, but Carrie Bradshaw is the main girl. Now, I would never wear anything she ever wore in that show. Did you ever watch that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, my mom loved that show, so I watched like the movies and the TV show, but she's like the first person that comes to mind, but I don't get any sort of inspiration from her. I just think of her every time.
Can you describe her style for me?
Very New York, but not like daily New York, but like New York fashion. Like, she's just wearing all kinds
Designers.
of dresses. Yeah, there's one dress that I remember that sticks out a bunch is her she wears like this newsprint newspaper dress that I really used to love that when I was a kid. And her wedding, she's big on shoes especially, and her wedding she has like these iconic royal blue and green shoes for her wedding day that I've always wanted the same pair of those, but they're probably $1 million. But yeah, she's someone I always think of. And Rihanna. Mm-hmm. I'm always excited to see her at the Met Gala.
Yeah. I think any event Rihanna goes to, she just tears everybody up.
Zendaya
eats.
Zendaya eats. Does.
Wow.
She does.
She's just perfect in every way.
She really is. Has she ever been canceled?
I don't think so.
No way.
She's been around for so long too. Like,
I know.
She just was on.
What's her Casey Undercover? Shake It Up.
Shake It Up, I think, is where I found her.
Yeah.
Casey Undercover was close though.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever watched that. I just saw her in an interview once, and somebody was asking her like, where did you get like this talent or this inspiration or something? And she was like, Casey Undercover. Just completely joking. But yeah.
Anybody else you think?
As far as like other fashion moments I always think of is the 13 Going on 30 movie.
I think
the dress. The dress.
I think that's so cute.
And I think everybody, all the
Would
girls
love to
anyways,
have
know
that
what
dress.
we're talking about when we say the dress. Yeah. Nick, the owner here, also said he knows what we're talking about.
It's iconic.
I think somebody else too, which she's like also kind of polar opposite, I think, to how either one of us dress. But kind of when I was starting to talk to you about this episode, saying kind of what our fashion is and maybe what we kind of wish our fashion was. Mm-hmm. But Sophia Richie, she had this drastic change in her fashion. Like, she used to like dress and hang out with like the Kardashians, and now she's married to some guy, and she dresses like very rich, classy, like European summer type of vibes, which I always wish I could dress like that, but I never walk in somewhere and gravitate towards any of those type of like pieces.
I think it would be so easy to dress like that in a different environment, in a different setting, because anywhere that's giving like shoreline, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
you
like
have to
New
be in a nice
England
area.
summer, European summer.
It would be so fun to dress like that.
Yeah,
it's just like it's hard to switch up your style when the environment. Like Wheeling, you can't do too much in Wheeling, or else you're gonna get looked at crazy.
Yeah,
but I applaud everybody who does take a step outside the box around here.
definitely. How would you describe your style?
My style is literally wannabe 90s. Like I want to be dressed in 90s attire every chance I can get. But I've been trying to find something more feminine, because 9 times out of 10 I look like a little boy. So I rely heavily on like getting my lashes together, doing my hair cute in a feminine way. So I want to, this summer, me and Sammy just said something about going shopping for dresses. I want the sundresses out this summer. I just want to be a girl, like
mini skirts.
Yes, like I have to start trying feminine style.
Yeah, because I think both of us gravitate towards big baggy jeans. Actually, Gia donated me some baggy jeans.
They look so good too.
Yeah, she donated me 2 pairs, but yeah, we both wear big t-shirts, baggy jeans. I do like a baby tee with like baggy jeans, but it's all very like 90s grunge. Big jackets.
Yeah.
And then if it's not that, for both of us, I think it's athleisure, right?
Yeah.
Like our gym outfits. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to just go get something cute with flowers on it, you know?
Yeah.
Wear heels outside. I think heels, like just little platform sandals, I think it would be so dainty and cute.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
I do think, though, to what you were saying, too, about kind of making it more girly with the eyelashes, I think a big thing is earrings, too. So, like, if you are wearing a t-shirt, big baggy jeans, put on earrings, and you look like you're ready to go for the day.
Yeah, you're stepping. Put on some cool sneakers, like you're outside.
Yeah. What would you say are your go-to shoes?
For my style, chunky sneakers that they're not high tops. Like they're probably by my ankle. Maybe like mids. But definitely chunky sneakers are the go-to. What would you say?
Yeah, I'm definitely big on platforms. I love to wear anything with a platform. The shoes I wear the most often are these platform boots from Target. And then I have platform white Converse, but I like chunky platform shoes. I have like my shoes that Brian calls like my curb stompers, because they just have a big bottom. I think they're like white high top Fila shoes, and they have like a big you were there when I bought them.
I know what shoes you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think chunky shoes help even out an outfit so easily. So, like, it's just, they just add just, like, a little pinch, you know? And if you've got too much going on, like, I have these just plain white Reeboks that I got from a thrift store that were just already beat up, you know what I mean? And those are good for jeans that are straight-legged, you know what I mean? They're not so baggy, but they just kind of, they don't really add anything.
Yes, because I have one straight leg jeans, and the only shoes I can wear with them is sometimes these, but it honestly needs to be a little bit chunkier, and that's when I wear those Filas, is with those.
What's something that you wouldn't buy secondhand?
Something I wouldn't buy.
Or use?
I don't know if they even sell this, but I mean, I wouldn't buy like underwear secondhand.
Okay.
Do they sell that secondhand?
Yeah, there's tons of. Well, yeah, they definitely do. There's tons at the bins, but there's also tons at just regular Goodwills.
Okay, yeah. Not to like.
Sometimes they'll come in packs. Sometimes there definitely is stains in them for sure.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't. I get a little nervous about hats too.
Me too.
Like lice and mites
and
those sort of things.
Me too,
So I am scared of lice.
I just actually got 2 hats from the bins yesterday. I washed them though. They'll be fine.
I think you can like see the lice though if they're on it.
Really? I don't try hats on when I go to like Walmart or Target or anything.
Yeah, don't wait till you can wash them.
Just because I was a little kid, my mom's talking about, you want to put that on and get lice?
Yeah.
No, I don't want to put that on and get lice. Like clearly. What's one thing I wouldn't buy secondhand? Underwear for sure.
A sports bra might be fine though. Like, I would get, like, a sports bra, probably.
I have gotten, like, sports bras, like, little... I have this, like, velvet one.
Mm-hmm.
But when I think of, like, what I do in my sports bras, they're drenched. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, after a workout, I'm dripping sweat. And then I'm just like, do I really want to buy somebody else's?
No, I don't.
No, not anymore, no.
Oh, man.
Socks. I'm not buying secondhand socks.
Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah.
No.
No, I wouldn't.
I thought about it, but I didn't.
What kind of, were they cool?
I thought they were cool. That's why I thought about it. And I found, like, the pair, they were just, like, how I love how thick these are.
Mm-hmm.
They were just like it, but they had, like, a cool little pattern on it. But then I was like, it kind of smells like pee over here, so I'm probably just going to walk away now.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like undergarments is probably just stay away from them. I mean, unless you need to. I mean, just wash them.
What about, like, dolls? Are you buying toys secondhand? And think about this hard because...
No, because I've seen Annabelle, and that's enough for me. I'm not buying a doll secondhand. I don't need whatever juju you put in that doll. Whatever demon you put in that doll to,
what about, like,
to send home with me.
Dolls are often cursed. Not cursed, but, like, possessed. What about, like, watches? Watches can often, like, have energy in them. Just because, like... I don't know.
I don't know. I wouldn't have ever thought of it until you said something. So now I'll probably never buy a watch.
Well, it just depends. You'll be able to feel it.
Will I?
Annabelle. Anyways.
But yeah, I wouldn't buy a doll. Or like any... I saw on Facebook Marketplace... Somebody, we're getting a little off fashion, but I saw on Facebook Marketplace somebody was selling a big dresser vanity type of thing that looked exactly like the one from, I can't remember if it's Conjuring or if it's the Haunting at Hill House, and it's like this big giant brown thing, and then the possessed child is like sitting on top of it. And I was like, if something looks like scary, like it would be possessed, I'm also not buying.
How do you feel about blankets? Because I see these really pretty, like, crocheted ones at the thrift all the time.
Bed bugs.
Yeah.
I'm not risking it.
No?
No, probably not.
Can you see bed bugs?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Your mom said whenever, like, you travel and go to a hotel
she checks them.
Yeah.
I make her check them before I even put my stuff down.
The corners, because, like...
in the creases.
Yeah. I think the queen or the mom or whatever the word is, she'll always be, like, in the... Stacey Campbell might have lied to me. I don't know, but she told me
the same thing. And I see her check all the time of exactly what you're describing, so I hope it's true. I don't know.
Yeah. But I checked the corners and the... what you were saying, the creases.
This is the second time I've heard about bed bugs today.
Where else did you hear about them?
The nail salon.
Oh,
somebody had bed bugs.
And they brought them to the nail salon?
No, their house had bed bugs, so their kids are just... it's a whole story.
Oh no, she didn't come to work, did she?
No, it was like a month ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wash your clothes when we go.
No, it's not. Trust. I didn't. It's not with me.
Okay, bringing it back to fashion, I have a couple of things like describing my childhood fashion and some things that might, like, what's the word? Might scratch an itch, like, in the back of your head for remembrance, but I don't know if you are a little too young for it or not.
Okay.
So I don't know if I should go through those first and then you can, like, describe your childhood fashion, or do you want, whatever. But just in general, like, my go-to colors as a kid, green and brown. Anything I was wearing, green top. I had these brown cargo pants with a bunch of pockets.
The explorer outside, apparently.
For real. I'm looking like Indiana Jones.
Okay.
But so that's what I was always wearing. But one big thing other than those layering the camis was gauchos.
What are gauchos?
Okay, so you were too young. I have another one that I don't know if you were too young for too, but they were just like pants that came down to about in the middle of your shin.
Yeah.
And they were just loose and flowy.
Yeah.
And mine were brown because I loved brown.
Let me describe this for you, because I went to this summer camp when I was a little kid, and there were girls wearing those, but they were like plaid and they had like cinches on the side. Or like maybe like a little tie around the...
Yeah,
you know
those were popular, but those wouldn't be gauchos.
No.
Gauchos were normally like soft material too, like kind of like the yoga pant of that time, but the yoga pant ended here. They were terrible, ugly.
Really?
I'd never wear them again, and I hope people don't bring them back.
Did they have pockets?
Yes. Yeah, they could have pockets. I don't know if mine did or not.
Gauchos.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, your sister would definitely know what I'm talking about.
She
Devin
probably had tons.
And then I have a couple more. Did you ever have anything from the brand Bobby Jack?
Yes, that's the monkey.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I remember I had like school supplies from Bobby Jack. I had I think I had a zip up that's. Yes, I think it might have been Devin's hand-me-downs, though.
I bet it was. The girls of the 90s and early 2000s, we loved Bobby Jack.
I remember him. That does scratch an itch in my brain. Thank you.
Yeah,
Oh
I had T-shirts, hoodies. I don't know if there was any pants.
He's always blowing gum, too.
Yes. Yeah, and all the tags will say Bobby Jack on them.
Wow.
Yeah, I was hoping, but I asked your mom the other day. She was like, I know Devin would, but I don't know if Gia would.
Where did all of those materials go? Like, where? I haven't seen a Bobby Jack shirt in person in years.
I needed to confirm the brand, and people are like selling them on Etsy and what else? The other thrift type of websites for like a lot of money. And then one other was this purse that I was obsessed with, and it was just like a long crossbody sequins, but you could have it in any color. Mine was brown, of course, because I only had green and brown, but it's just like a long, very like drapey type of purse covered in sequins.
So I don't know if I've ever had what you're talking about, but I wish you could have seen me as a toddler, like little kid running around, because my grandma Dee had probably 30 purses for me by the time I was 6, and I definitely had like a crossbody like covered in sequins, but I also had just like a regular like one to match everything that she had. But I don't know if I had exactly what you were talking about. Did everybody have those?
Yeah, like my sister had one, my best friend had one, everybody had them. They were just the purse to have in elementary school, I guess.
Like what the elementary school kids need to carry around. I had rocks in my purses. I had rocks and Cheetos, like dirt from the baseball field from going to Brian's trips. I probably had like a little tech deck in there from Trace.
Like, what did I have in my purse? What did I have?
Those are awesome.
Yeah, I don't know.
Little like lip balm, probably Bobby Jack lip balm.
Definitely Bobby Jack. Or the ones that were, was it Jolly Ranch flavored?
There
or
were
like
so
Skittles?
many. Yes, like I had like a Coca-Cola one. Like,
yeah.
Orange Crush. I definitely had those.
Yeah, there was one that you could get.
Roll-ons.
Yeah. And then there's ones you could get like all the sodas and.
Yeah.
Girlhood of the early 2000s.
My style was growing up. My grandma very much dressed me. I was like her personal doll. Walking, it was like her little accessory. We just twinned everywhere. When she would dress me, I would have on probably like a nice little t-shirt with a matching skirt, maybe some tights, and then shoes and a purse to go with it, with whatever headband. I'd always have a headband or like a bow.
That's so cute.
Me, when I would dress myself, I'm throwing on like cheetah prints. My grandma would also put me in cheetah prints. I was such a girl.
No, I would
put myself in just like cheetah prints and some little like shorts, just like little like biker shorts, and just no shoes. I'm going outside, just playing in the dirt.
She has a style back in the day.
Wow. My mom said I would throw on Converse and a tutu for any given day, but I don't remember that phase.
I was such a little boy.
Yeah.
Such a little boy. And I had like my skater era where I was like trying to skate. And so I was just wearing like really baggy shorts that were coming to probably past my knees. Like t-shirts that were like skating brands. And I just looked like a little boy.
I wanted to be you so bad as a little kid.
I was not cool, I promise.
Because nobody wants to go outside with Justice t-shirts on every day that say I heart dance. You know what I mean? Like,
did you ever go to a Libby Lou?
What's a Libby Lou?
It was this place that would be in the malls. I don't know if they would have had it here in like St. Clairsville or Wheeling, but they had it in Charlotte. But you would go, and if somebody had their birthday there, you would go get your hair done, glitter. I mean, there would be 80 rubber bands in your hair by the time you left there. They do your makeup, you'd get dressed, and then you'd come out, like they might put like a cute little mic on you, and it was Libby Lou. And
Hannah Montana? Did you go to one of these parties before?
Just one time. Somebody had a birthday party there, and I was so excited, and when I got back, I was like, Mom, how do I keep my hair like this?
Yeah.
She like hairsprayed my hair. And so the next day I could go to school with it still in my hair. Yeah.
You were geeked.
I was geeked because my mom didn't really do hair. I didn't do hair at that age. So it was the first time my hair was like really done.
Yeah.
And it was so exciting.
That's so exciting for you. I wish I could have saw it. If you find a picture, let's...
I'll have to ask your sister if she knows what Libby Lou, or your mom. But
I feel like I have a memory.
They might not have had one here, but I think they're all closed down now. They probably went out of business.
Probably.
I don't know what they were profiting.
What would you say your favorite and least favorite trend is at the moment?
Favorite trend is probably mini skirts. Like I really want a cute little mini skirt moment. Least favorite trend is I saw somebody wanted to bring back capris, which are pretty close to the gauchos. Yeah.
I twitch.
Do not bring back capris. Nobody just needs to seem like my
shin.
That's not cute. Like it's not cute. Like I either need to be covered from top to bottom or like a short, like biker short length. Any other lengths on me, my legs just look weird. Nobody needs to see, like, I'm trying to work out my calves, but my little chicken leg shins, like, nobody needs to see those in capris.
Don't bring back capris.
Don't bring them back, please. What are yours?
One of my favorite trends that I see, I love the mini skirts. Mm-hmm. I see this girl on TikTok. I don't know what her name is, but she's very maximalist. Mm-hmm. And she probably has like 6-7 different layers on. Yeah. And by the end of it, she has this poofy skirt with a corset and this like see-through little shirt with like 3 more things on top of it. And she just eats in these real chunky earrings. Her nails are like super duper long. And it's just like, I love the idea of how it all looks together. My least favorite would be... I don't know.
Trying to think of some trends I could list off for you that are coming back. This isn't fashion, but I've seen like people are going back to really thin eyebrows.
I kind of like those.
I think it depends on your face.
Super duper thin, but I like those a little bit.
I think it depends on the face. I know it doesn't work for me. I think your eyebrows are perfect the way they are. I wouldn't go thin. I think like Ronan could do a thin eyebrow if she wanted to.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a least favorite trend right now. Anything that I look at that just is like, do better.
Do better.
The plaid shirts. Just like plain like t-shirt, plaid, button-up shirts.
Yeah.
That's like just grown man. You need to do better. Just like get a t-shirt or something.
Yeah.
That just irritates. I saw a man on a bike, like a dirt bike earlier with it. And I just was like, what? You look goofy.
Yeah. One thing I don't like too, for kind of on the topic of men fashion, is when like men can't coordinate a gym outfit.
Are you trying to silently at Brian right now?
Absolutely. I'm fully loudly adding Brian. He can't match his t-shirt to his shorts to anything. And I also like for men, like the 5-inch, the shorter shorts coming back. Like when Brian goes to the gym and he's got shorts that are past his knees. Ick.
I just don't know how I feel about like when men wear shorts and they're tight, like boxers can be seen underneath of it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think if it's color coordinated, it looks good.
You think it'll look good?
Yeah, like if you have like a white Nike t-shirt has the black check, and then you have black shorts, and then you have the white.
Yeah, that wouldn't look bad. Yeah. As long as it's not like all the way down to your knee and your shorts are like, you know what I mean?
And Brian has those plaid pink.
Unless you're playing basketball, because that makes sense.
Or like biking.
Yeah. Plaid pink.
Yeah, have you seen those?
I think so.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Might as well just cut them up.
Yeah.
Donate them. Somebody will use them.
What is a fashion red flag ick for you, like in a guy? Like if you saw him walk in with something.
Under Armour.
Just the brand period?
Yeah, just the brand Under Armour.
Or do you mean like the Under Armour material?
Just the brand.
I have Under Armour sweatpants.
That's okay. You're not a guy. You're not a guy I'm trying to be interested in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's okay if you just stay in the corner, but like don't come up to my face with Under Armour on. I'm not taking you serious.
Why?
It's just corny to me. It's just, I know, like I've just been like, I've dealt with men who can dress the way that I like, and Under Armour is just a little corny to me. Just because I like guys who dress like they're from the 90s.
Okay.
And maybe some baggy streetwear. Like, I just think the silkiness and the reflectiveness of Under Armour is just not... It doesn't do it for me.
But what if he's, like, working out? Or he has to be a Nike instead?
Probably.
Okay.
I'm a big hater.
Oh, my God. I'm going to throw away all my Under Armour.
It's not you, though. It's not you. Like, trust. It's not you. I'm not looking at you crazy for it. I promise. Oh, my goodness. It's just like, I just picture it in my mind, like, oh my gosh. Turn around and try again. That makes me giggle so
I'm
bad.
burning all my Under Armour sweatpants.
Stop. Somebody sponsor me and Sami so we can twin to the gym. Do you have a fashion hack for me? Let me give you 2 examples. Number 1, I think I showed you a little bit today, and I tried to put you on last night. A shoelace as a belt. And... obviously, like, a belt is preferred in some situations. A shoelace today was perfect because we were trying things on and I needed different sizes, whatever. I needed it to be quick. A shoelace with joggers is perfect when they don't have a string. And another little fashion hack I have is hair ties when your pants are too small. Okay. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the button thing you put it. Yes. Yeah. Well, I have, like, kind of the reverse is when your pants are too big, you can take I forget how to do it right now.
The loop
Yeah, you take this loop, your first loop to the left, and you pull your button through it, and then you button it that way. So it takes away, like, I don't know, a couple inches of the waist or, I don't know, centimeters.
I know what you're talking about.
I don't know, like, I don't know that.
It's okay.
But, so that'll work. And then I don't really have any hacks. The only other thing I do is, like, this t-shirt right now is tucked underneath. The end of my t-shirt is tucked underneath the bottom of my sports bra to make it shorter. That's all I got, though.
I do that a lot when I want my shirt to be cropped, but I don't want to cut it.
Yeah.
Ronan, I just remembered Ronan's fashion hack that I'm going to give for her is when her socks are too big, she'll because she has like size 5 feet, you know what I mean, they're real soft. She'll flip them over and stick her foot in her shoe, so it's just like folded. And she'll pull her foot out of her shoe at the end of the day, and it's just stuck like that. And it just makes me laugh every time.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I've never had that issue. What's your favorite Met Gala? Like, what year? Or what theme?
I really liked this past one. That was, what was it, like, something with
Garden,
time.
Fairies, time, Spirit of Time.
I really liked it. Just because I guess I haven't really looked into the Met Galas. I like seeing them, like, on social media afterwards, but I've never really, like, paid attention that hard to the looks.
Yeah, I never watched the actual live stream, but it always pops up on my Instagram Explore page.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, the 2 that stand out to me the most are, I looked up the years too. It was 2018's was the Heavenly Bodies one, so it was like all, like, Ariana Grande's was like the painting of the Sistine Chapel, and like Gigi Hadid had like stained glass, and I know Rihanna's was really cool. Blake Lively's was cool, and then the next year was camp, so everybody was like just crazy. I don't really know what camp means. I just know it means like being very, very extensive and exaggerated with your fashion. But that one, like, a lot of people had really fun outfits for that year.
I would probably change mine to the
first one?
Yeah.
The Heavenly Bodies. Yeah, I feel like that's a lot of people's favorite one. Yeah. And then every year after, the themes weren't as exciting as that one. And camp, so I think people have been disappointed for a little bit. But I did like this year's too.
Somebody had a purse with a flower frozen in it.
Camila Cabello.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And I think it was like thawing out as she went up.
How hard is that? Like, who thinks of that?
I know. And Tyla's the sand. It was like molded to her
so
body.
Pretty.
Yeah, that one
I
was
love that
like one of my favorites. Yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to discuss fashion-wise before I get to our woman of the week?
I don't think so. I think that's all I got.
Okay. So I think Sammy already knows, but our woman of the week this week is Marilyn Monroe. I've been thinking about her for a while. She actually was in the discussion when me and Sammy first were wondering like who we're going to do for the first episode.
Hey guys, we're just going to briefly interrupt the podcast episode to talk about some trigger warnings for the last portion of today's episode. Some topics that are briefly discussed include sexual assault, mental health disorders, overdose, and death. So if any of these topics may be triggering or harmful for you, please stop watching the podcast here or listening to the podcast. This is the last portion of the podcast, so we will see you and talk to you next week.
So Marilyn Monroe was born as Norma Jean Mortensen on June 1st, 1926.
I never would have pinned her for a Norma.
Right. She's a Gemini. She was 5'5". They say she died of an overdose.
They say.
We'll get into it in a second. So, Norma Jean, or as we know her, Marilyn, grew up in foster care. Her mom was a paranoid schizophrenic, and she never knew her dad. So, she kind of grew up, I think she was like 7 when she lived with like one of her family friends until she was like 7, but then the dad got relocated and they were like, we just can't afford to take you with us, so she got put back into foster care. During that entire time when she lived with those family friends, she was under very religious standards. She wasn't even allowed to go see the movies.
Oh man.
Yeah, they just were not going for it at all. So she got put back into foster care. In foster care, she was sexually assaulted tons. Just was living the system, you know what I mean? She dropped out of high school by the time she was 15. She's not having a very good time. Her earliest memory, I forgot to say this, her earliest memory of her mom was when her mom was trying to smother her in her crib.
Oh my God.
That's alleged, you know. So her life so far has just been not great. No. Norma Jean is struggling. She got married at 16 as like a way out of foster care.
I had no idea.
She knew the guy she married, so it wasn't like anything arranged or anything crazy. But so the guy she married went off to work, whatever, left her alone in this house, and she got recognized by a photographer. So she started off as a model. Obviously, she's beautiful. Just she blew up really quick, and she signed her first movie contract, and that's when they were like, okay, dye your hair blonde and change your name.
Oh, okay.
So she was a model before she was Marilyn, but once she signed her first movie contract, she turned into Marilyn Monroe with the blonde hair we know her with, and she's notoriously known for being late.
For being late?
Yes, and people started being like, we're not working with you because you're not showing up to set on time. Her like co-stars are pissed because like it's call time and she's just sitting in her trailer. But apparently this is due to pre-performance anxiety, which, you know, some people have.
For sure.
Ultimately, she's been in a good amount of movies. Like I want to say more than 5, probably like more than 7, but maybe not like more than 10.
Okay.
Her films grossed more than $200 million to date.
Dang.
Yeah. Some of her notable films are The Asphalt Jungle, came out in 1950. Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, this is the one I've heard of, in 53. And How to Marry a Millionaire came out in 54. That's another one I heard of. She got divorced ASAP from this guy. As soon as she blew up and got her own money, she was up and out of there.
Yeah.
This guy, his name was James Dougherty. That's the guy she married first. She's had 3 lovers officially. This was number 1.
Okay.
They got married in 1942 and divorced in 1946. A quote from him, he says, "I never knew Marilyn Monroe. I don't claim to have any insights to her to this day. I knew and loved Norma Jean."
Oh.
So that kind of gives you an insight to, did she flip a switch? Do you think like fame off rip just got to her? Or do you think this is really like meant to be?
Yeah. Or do you think she just grew up because she was 16?
Facts.
Sammy at 16 is not who I am today.
So she was married to her second husband for 9 months, but it didn't last. And this husband, I don't know his name, was rumored after she passed away to send her flowers to her grave for the next 20 years.
Oh.
So she was married a third time, but ultimately got divorced again. So this is leading into how she died. The Kennedys.
The Kennedys.
Marilyn was known around the world as just this feminine sexual figure.
Yeah.
Everybody loved her. She's just beautiful. Somehow she fell into the Kennedy brothers' hands, and she was rumored to deal with both John F. Kennedy and Robert Kennedy. I don't know who had her first. I actually listened to a podcast about this, about like one of them just gave, like, she just got switched because like they're brothers, whatever.
What?
We all, I think, have heard about how she sang JFK Happy Birthday.
Yes. Yeah.
In 1962. Mind you, the podcast I listened to, JFK's wife, she was also a big fashion figure, wasn't she? Who was his wife?
Yeah, Jackie.
Wasn't she like in kind of some spotlight?
I think so. I can't remember exactly, but she was very much like of that time, like the political fashion of that time. So like a lot of people do the costume of Jackie, and I think that's her name, and JFK, where it's like she's got that blue suit jacket and the blue little skirt with the blue hat. I think that's JFK and his wife.
But the podcast I listened to said that she would just put up with JFK's bull all the time. He has so many different mistresses, and Marilyn was one of them. But they said, and I didn't find this on Google, this was the podcast I was listening to, and if I had the name I would tell you, I forget it. It was just like a conspiracy theory. She would call his assistants, like his managers, his office, whatever she can get a hold of, his hotel rooms. Marilyn is blowing this guy up trying to get his attention, and she's just crazy about him and his brother. So Marilyn only lived to be 36 years old. She died August 5th, 1962, and they officially ruled it a overdose. Officially. And a lot of people, this is one of the biggest conspiracies I know of, think that she was just killed by the CIA, whatever. Kennedy had her killed because she just was doing too much. She was like threatening to go public with, he's cheating on his wife with me and her and her and her and her. And she also knew secrets of the White House because she's dealing with JFK. She's in his room. She's in his hotel room. She sees his phones, things like that. So I think like she was getting maybe a little too out of control that they liked, and they did something about it.
Okay.
But officially was ruled an overdose, and they found an empty bottle of sleeping pills next to her in her home.
Okay.
And there was people in her house, like they made her dinner or whatever, and she's like, no, I'm not coming down to dinner, I'm not that hungry, whatever, and she went to sleep. So, but to end off Marilyn's story, I wanted to tell you some cool little quotes and a fun fact about her.
Cool.
Fun fact, Hugh Hefner bought the crypt right next door to Marilyn Monroe's, so there'd be maybe they'll hang out. And 2 quotes I found by her that I really, really liked. Number 1, she said, I don't mind living in a man's world as long as I get to be a woman in it.
Facts.
Right? And then number 2, somebody asked her, what do you wear in bed? So she said, what do I wear in bed? Why, Chanel number 5, of course. And I thought that was cute.
That is cute. I
But
love the first one.
Marilyn Monroe, our Woman of the Week. I wanted to bring her to the conversation today. I think she's great.
Fashion icon, girl icon.
A girl icon. She really just was living.
Yeah. And imagine what it would have been like different. What could have been different for her, like being in today now, and like not needing to marry that man so young, and not needing to get involved. Like how she said, like living in a man's world if she didn't have to live in a man's world. Yeah. But guess we'll never know.
I think that's all we have for you guys today.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in to the Pine Cellar Podcast, episode 3.
And thank you to Thank you to Outdated Threads for hosting us. Shout out Nick.
It's awesome in here. If you guys have time, you're ever in Wheeling, come check it out. It's so dope. Check out our vlog to see a little bit more what it's like in here.
And that's it. Bye, guys.
I think we ate that up.
Yeah.